Hello everyone, today's topic is production of hepatitis B vaccine by recombinant DNA technology. With the help of recombinant DNA technology or rDNA technology, how can we get the hepatitis B vaccine? First of all, what is hepatitis and why we produce the hepatitis B vaccine? So, basically hepatitis is a disease and hepatitis B vaccines is used for treatment or preventions of this disease, that is called hepatitis. Basically hepatitis B is a type of hepatitis virus. Hepatitis virus mainly are three types, that is hepatitis B, hepatitis D and hepatitis E. Basically hepatitis B and D are effective, but hepatitis D can affect only with the help of hepatitis B. Basically this hepatitis B virus causes damage of hepatic cells, that means it affects our liver. Hepatics, that means liver, so it affects our liver. The liver, which is made up of hepatic lobules or hepatic cells, right? These cells detoxify the harmful substance. As they have the detoxifying property, it's convert the cholesterols to bile salt, and these bile salts with the help of H2, that is waters, and bilirubins make bile. And the hepatitis B or hepatitis disease spread by or you can say route of transmissions of this disease, that is hepatitis, is by sexual contacts, transfusions of blood, transfusion of injectable things or injectable substance, or infected mother to child during the birth, right? It can, that means it can cross, but it can pass through with the it can pass through the placental barriers, which can connect the baby with the mother. So this virus can transmit it through this placental barrier from infected mother to the child. In these situations, it is a worldwide disease which is in high graph. So let's see what are the proteins involved to made up of hepatitis B virus. So basically there are three types of viral core proteins. In infectious HBV variants, that is dependent particles, has spherical double-celled structures about 42 nms in diameters, consisting of lipid envelopes containing HBs Ag. Ag indicates as antigens that surrounded an inner nucleocapsids composed of hepatitis B core antigens, that is indicated as HBcAg, complexed with varially enclosed or encoded polymerase and the viral DNA genomes. Let's have a look how the hepatitis B virus looks like. It looks like this. It consists with a DNA double-stranded nucleoproteins and DNA polymerase in core, and there is an envelope lipid layers and HBs antigens or spike antigens and HBe antigens, which is into the envelopes. Basically HBs Ag, that is antigen genes or subunits, are used for recombinant DNA technology. This hepatitis B virus enters into the hepatocyte cells, that is presence in livers, by fusion methods cross the membrane. Basically capsids of the cells enter into the cells and DNA release into the cells, and with the help of ribosomes they make copies, or you can say the virus make copies with the help of ribosomes and infect the cell or infect the liver, and it causes different kinds of liver damage like liver cirrhosis, liver failures. In fact, it causes liver cancer also. As I said before, this disease These diseases touch the top peaks of the disease graphs in worldwide. That's why basically for avoiding the people, WHO declares the World Hepatitis Day 28th July. So World Hepatitis Day celebrates on 28th July every year. So let's see how HV vaccine, that is hepatitis V vaccine, produced with the help of rDNA technology, that is recombinant DNA technology. Firstly, we need a hepatitis V virus which contains the disease producing gene, that is the viral genome, DNA or RNA. Here point to be noted, that is this this hepatitis V virus contains the DNA. This DNA has extension parts which is single stranded, right? And we need a vectors, that is plasmid, right? From a bacteria we can get this plasmids or vectors. Those bacteria contains the bacterial DNA and extracellular DNA, that is plasmids. So this plasmids is used as a vectors. So then we need to cut the particular consequence or particular sequence of nucleotides which contains the desired DNA or desires nucleotide contents which is responsible for the hepatitis B or hepatitis disease, right? So by the restriction endonuclease we cut the desired genes from the hepatitis V viral DNA, and we cut with the help of DNA, same restriction endonuclease genes, cut the vectors plasmids. Then these parts which contains the desired genes put into the plasmids, and with the DNA ligase enzymes, the ligation process is done and it produces recombinant DNA, that is combinations of desired genes and vectors DNA, right? This recombinant DNA introduced into the host cells. Here host cells is yeast cells. So recombinant DNA or rDNA introduced into the host cells, and these host cells are introduced in a fermentation tank. Those fermentation tanks which contains a medium, that is recombinant yeast cells multiplying, where recombinant yeast cells multiplying and producing HB antigens in fermentation tank, right? After introducing this host cell, that is yeast cells, into the fermentation tank, those host cells from a large number of daughter cells. Those daughter cells contains with the rDNA, that is recombinant DNA. So what we need to do, we need to extract them for raw copies of rDNA, right? After extracting those desired DNA, we need to purify them. After purifications, we add some excipients and preservatives, then we packed and sealed them, and it's ready for market out. Let's see what is the overviews of all process, that is isolations of HV's producing gene from HV viruses. It may be by the cell lysis or cell lysis protein denaturation, by cell lysis, that involves the protein denaturations, precipitations, centrifugations and dryings. After isolation the HBs producing genes from our HV virus, that is hepatitis V virus, we also need a vectors, that is plasmid vectors. Plasmid DNA vectors are extracted from a bacterial cells, that is E. coli. Then we need to do, that is restriction with the help of same restriction endonuclease or restriction enzymes, that is EcoR1. With the help of this EcoR1 we can get or you can separate out the genes of interest which is responsible for disease, right? And also cut the plasmid sections for attaching the gene of interest. Then insert it into the bacterial plasmids with the help of DNA ligase. DNA ligase is an enzyme which acts as a gum. So this DNA ligase enzymes can connect the gene of interest with the plasmid or plasmid DNA. Then produce recombinant DNA containing target genes. After attaching the gene of interest into the vectors, it produces the rDNA, that is recombinant DNA. Next, see, this recombinant DNA containing target genes introduced into the host cells. Host cells, here host cells is yeast cells, specifically Saccharomyces cerevisiae is act as a host cells. So, this host cells multiplications in a medium. This medium contains yeast extracts, dextrose, lots of amino acids, mineral salts. This media produced by this, like it cells, dextrose, amino acids and all, into the fermentation tank. That means yeast cells can multiply into this fermentation tank. So, after 48 hours ruptures the yeast cells. That means the yeast cells take times for multiplications or for maturing, right? Its times is 48 hours. 48 hours enough for maturing those yeast cells. Rupturing the yeast cells, it need to be purifications. So, after purifications, we get a free HBS antigens. Then we treat them with the phosphate buffers with formaldehydes. Treated in phosphate buffers with formaldehyde. And the next is co-precipitations with alums. Then we can get the bulk vaccine. Then some preservatives and other excipients are introduced into this bulk vaccine. The next process is sealed and packed the vaccine, and it's ready for sales or use. So that's all. Hope you like this video. Please do like, share and subscribe my channel for future updates.